Well, what's going on, everybody? So today I thought I would do a little thing and show you our live streaming setup for our Dylan Talks Tone live shows on Thursdays. And you could use this live streaming setup for just about anything. Basically, all you need is any kind of camera that has a clean HDMI out. I am currently using the Canon EOS R, but I also have this Canon EOS RP. Has basically the same thing. What do we mean by clean HDMI out? Well, here, I'll show you. See right there how on the display of the camera, so I'm showing you my EOS R right now. See on the display of the camera there is all of the numbers like your shutter speed and your f-stop and your battery life and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's all on the screen, but you don't see it in the video output. Obviously, that's the way it is for normal shooting, but also it needs to be that way for live streaming because we're actually going to be live streaming the output of the camera to your computer and then out to the internet. So let's go through the pieces of equipment that we have here, and it may seem complicated at first, but it's actually not that big a deal. Basically what we've got is we've got the EOS R on a tripod. I'm using my Rode VideoMic NTG on top of it. That's the microphone that you're hearing right now. You're not seeing live streaming, you're just seeing a normal recording. Another example of this would be my Canon EOS RP with, this is a Deity Duo 4 microphone, so this could be on a tripod. So here's another example of a camera that you could use. So I've got two here. I would use as wide of an angle as possible, just get the nice shot that you want. I've got a 24-105 lens on there, and I've just got it exposed properly like normal. You could run it in auto if you wanted or whatever. A couple of things you're gonna need. You're gonna go through batteries super fast because if we're gonna be streaming for like an hour and a half or an hour or whatever, we don't want to run the battery dry. So we also have, for this camera, I got an AC adapter so that I could plug it into the wall so I don't have to worry about the camera battery. Then the next thing we need to do is figure out how to get it into our camera or into our computer. So we've got the camera, we've got the power, we've got the microphone, everything's cool. So now we need an HDMI adapter that comes from the camera to our capture card. So you can't just plug a camera into a laptop usually or into a computer. You have to have some sort of capture card that converts the HDMI video signal and audio signal. I'm using video and audio from the camera. I want to capture it to the computer. So we have to use some sort of capture card. In this situation, I'm using an Elgato Camlink 4K. It's just this little dongle looking thing and you just plug it in. Now I'm using a MacBook Air, so I have to have another dongle. So we go from dongle to cable to dongle to get into here. But basically all we're doing is we've got the HDMI cable coming out of the camera straight to the Camlink 4K that turns it into a USB and into the computer. And that's it. Pretty simple. Now, once we get into computer, there's all kinds of ways that we could be recording or streaming what we see out of this camera. So here's what we're going to do. Right now, you're seeing straight out of the camera like any of my other videos that I normally do. So now we have switched to the signal now that you're seeing through the streaming. So this is actually going through the streaming software, and this is the quality that you would be seeing coming out and going out to YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else. So now you're seeing the signal from the camera through the Elgato Camlink 4K into USB into the computer. Did it change much? Yeah, a little bit, but it's still pretty awesome. So then the question is, how do we make our live stream look awesome? Okay, so I guess we need to figure out how we're going to actually pump this out into the world and how we're going to make it cool. I'm using currently a service called Streamyard, and there's a link to it below. This is not sponsored by Streamyard, but if you use my link, it helps out the channel a little bit, and you get $10 off your first purchases of Streamyard. There's a couple of different levels. I'm using the middle one. Okay, so there's like the there's like the free one, and then there's like the middle one, and then there's the really expensive one. I'm using the middle one. Okay, so now check this out. Now what you're seeing is the screen that I'm looking at. So I'm looking at the screen right now of this whole Streamyard situation. So when we come into our computer, we're going to go to General or Camera here, and this is where we pick which camera we're going to be using. We could use the normal FaceTime camera, and it would look like this. So now we're using the FaceTime camera, and it looks like the normal, you know. Now I'm outside right now, and the lighting is really good, but if we were inside, this would look terrible. Here's where also we can adjust which microphone we're using. So example, now we're using the streaming camera from the laptop, and we're using the audio from the laptop like normal, like everybody else normally would. Like this is just the normal live stream thing that we've seen all through COVID, and everybody's doing it, right? So now let's switch it back to the nice microphone. So now we switched it back to the nice microphone on top of the camera. Now let's switch it back to the nice camera. Okay? Very cool, right? So now we have this nice feed going out. Right now we're just recording it, but if you wanted to, we could actually we could stream to YouTube, we could stream to Facebook, we could stream to a Facebook group, a Facebook page, and with this setup, we could stream to all of them at the same time. If you wanted to stream to your Facebook page and your YouTube page at the same time, you could totally do that. It's very, very cool. Now, check this junk out. These are left over from last week. We like to show some people's comments from the stream. So if we come in here and we look, see where it says Streamyard right here? Now we don't have any comments because it says down here, add a destination to post comments. We don't have comments right now because you're not commenting on a live feed, but on YouTube there's a live feed, and on Facebook there's a live feed. If we wanted to show that comment, we could just click this button if the comment was there, and boom, the person's little avatar and their comment would be displayed right on the screen. If we wanted to make our own, so we take comments from Patreon, we take comments from our YouTube. So basically, I have made these banners that match my branding. And so if we wanted to share Brett's comment from another platform, I just come in here and I make these individually. Let's see. What if we wanted to put our brand logo on the screen? Boom. We could do that right up there in the corner. What if we wanted to do a whole overlay and let people know that Dylan Talks Tone was live right now and we were live streaming? Boom, we could do that. What if we wanted to share our Patreon so that people would join our Patreon? We could do that. If we wanted to share our Instagram, we could do that. So all of these things, it takes a little bit of preparation to go in there and prepare everything, but I really, really, really like it. Okay, now, what if we wanted to share something on the screen while we were speaking? A lot of times I like to use, let's show you my website. Okay, so let's show the website. So we could show share screen, and let's see, which Chrome tab do we want to show? Let's show Dylan Talks Tone. So there it is, and now it's made my head small, and it's made the website nice and big. See there? Pretty cool, right? So now, let's get this to where something looks cool. Okay, so there. Now, the other thing we could do is we could manipulate the size of that. So we could take my head completely out of there, and it could be full screen. We could put my head to the side there. We could make it small and make me a little bit bigger. We could take it totally out. And then another thing that we could do is we could actually have a guest. So basically the way this works, and it's hard for me to demonstrate this now, But the way this works is you would say, I want to have a guest. You would invite a guest. You would, I don't want to click this button because it would show you my link. But basically, you click this button, there's a link. You text that link to your friend. Your friend is on his own computer or his own iPhone. He could just be on his phone like this, right? He could just be on his phone. Boom, here we are. And he's on his phone in some other state or some other country or somewhere with halfway decent internet. He clicks the link that you send him, and then all of a sudden he shows up as one of these little windows down here that you can select and be side by side with you, just like that screen was. Super cool, right? So you're going to see on our Dylan Talks Tone live streams here coming up pretty soon that we're going to have guests and that sort of thing. It's going to be pretty awesome. I'm pretty stoked about this whole deal. Obviously, the quality is much, much better than it would have been otherwise. It gives us a lot more functionality in our live stream setup. What I really like about it is browser-based. I don't have to worry about software. When they add new features, it happens totally on its own. And we actually, when we are done with our live streams every week, we strip the audio out and turn it into a podcast. This software allows you to, with one button, download the audio only, and then you can mix it or whatever you want, turn it into a podcast, boom, just like that. It's all built in. Pretty stinking cool. There's a couple other features that I might have missed here, but those are the ones that are important to me. I like to be able to make it interactive with the people that watch our show, so I wanted to be able to put those things on, like their comments on the screen. I want to be able to share banners, of people's comments that maybe came in from some other platform. I really like this, and I think it's going to be a killer addition to our live streams for sure. It is definitely up the game for them, and it's not that expensive. I want to say at the time of making this video, the mid-level that I'm on is like $20 a month for all the features that you see here. It's in 720p. I can upgrade to the bigger package and get 1080p, but because we live in a motorhome and some of our data is at a premium, and we like to try to keep track of it, so 720 is fine with me, and it looks pretty nice. And actually, most of your cell phone services are going to be on the 720 anyway, no matter what. So boom, there you go. Thanks for hanging out on Music and Mascara today. I just wanted to show you this little setup. There's other ways you could do it. You could use wireless lavalier mics like the Saramonic, which is what we do for ours because Leslie is with me. If you wanted to talk specifically about the Saramonic setup, so we could do two people side by side and not have the shotgun mic up there and just have our wireless packs here, let me know. We'll do a video about that. Or this other microphone, or adapting it to this other camera. If you want to know any other specifics about the setup, I will gladly make a video. Just get in the comments and let me know. But I just wanted to share this with you. I think it's really, really fun. And it's definitely kind of up to the game of what we've got going here at Music and Mascara and at Dylan Talks Tone. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, all the things, Patreon, etc. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon.